Hey everyone, it's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a new moon and Libra reading. And so any new moon is about new beginnings. And so with it being in Libra right now, it just indicates our relationships, just where we're at in relation to other people, give and take, the scales of justice, which is the tarot card that is represented by Libra. And so we're really going to be focusing on just our love life at this particular time, anything that we need to heal, anything that might be out of balance, and new fresh energies that will be coming in. So this can be general, this can be about someone specific, just apply it how it resonates to your situation. And of course, if you're finding that the reading is not resonating with you, just go ahead and click off the video. All the decks that I'm going to be using here today, 6 total. I feel like they're kind of Halloween themed. I just like this setup here, as you guys can see, and they'll be all down in the description box below if you guys are interested. Now, also what I was reading as well about this new moon, it says that it's sitting across retrograde Chiron, and Chiron is called the wounded healer. So it focuses on healing close bonds. So any kind of close bonds that we feel with other people will also be healing at this particular time. So I just wanted to throw that out there as well. So let's go ahead and I want to focus real quick here on this beautiful new Orgonite that I got from Wing and Bell. Now this was created as just a one-of-a-kind piece, and so when I saw it on their site, I snagged it immediately. So I know that they can recreate this. I don't think it's listed on their actual Etsy shop or site at this time. But if you guys are interested in this particular Orgonite, go ahead and go to their link, and it'll take you straight to their site. And so that way you guys can go ahead and inquire about this piece. So this is rad. This right here is a crystal skull that is in the middle of this Orgonite. It's really cool. So this particular skull, as you guys can see, it contains blackcidium, amethyst, crown of thorns, purple moss, moonstone, copper, and aluminum. And then the pyramid itself has amethyst, labradorite, copper, and a ton of metal flake, not glitter. So anyways, look at how beautiful this is. So they're making all kinds of just different custom pieces, whatever you want pretty much. So anyways, I just wanted to have this here because of this whole Halloween theme. I just thought it would be perfect. So anyways, you guys, let's go ahead and get started with this particular reading. Let's just see what Spirit wants to bring forth as an opening message for the new moon right now. Let's take a look. So what we're going to do is, this right here is called the Halloween Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab like a theme here. And this is a tarot deck, and it is called, oh gosh, what is it called? I want to give it the proper announcement. Hold on, you guys. Okay, it's a really cute name, Trick or Tarot. And it's from a company called Duck Soup Productions. So they're on Etsy if you guys are interested, and they make other really cool decks too. Okay, so what is an opening message that Spirit has for us when it comes to this new moon in regards to partnerships and love? Let's go ahead and get a theme here. Okay, we have the cauldron. So this is saying synergy and healing. We are talking about energy that needs to heal perhaps at this particular time. So there's something about healing something, creating something. We're creating something in that cauldron. We're manifesting change. We're manifesting healing. Let's see what this has to do with. Okay, well, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This is absolutely amazing because the Nine of Pentacles is a card of self-care. It's a card where we're really focused on ourselves. We're really focused on our manifestations. We're focused on our more independent energy, maybe even being solo, being alone, trying that on for size. Maybe some people want to just kind of pull away from partnerships and just take a little bit of a break and just focus more on them. This is also about body improvement. This is just an improvement, with your finances. It could be that you are focused on a particular craft at this time and you're really just, building your abundance in that area. So to me, that's a very healing energy that's saying that right now, if you find that you are solo at this time, see it as a blessing. Try not to see it as something that's a negative, because it's really allowing you this time that you need in order to heal. Let's go ahead and get another message. Okay, we have the Chariot. Wow. The Chariot's energy is related to the sign of Cancer. But the Chariot is about literally being on the correct road, being on the path, being determined to move forward, getting through obstacles, victory, success. So now that we have these two cards coming together, it's like whatever's brewing in that cauldron right now, literally you are creating, it's a recipe for success. It is a recipe for healing. This is beautiful. So it's already, this new moon message is very positive. And now we have the Six of Pentacles. Oh my. The Six of Pentacles is very much like the Justice card to me, in the sense where it's about an equal exchange of give and take, balancing out. What we're giving is what we're getting back. So if that seems to be out of whack, we're pulling away from situations or people where people might be draining, or people might be taking more than we're willing to give, or maybe we're doing a lot, but yet we're not being appreciated. So this is a period of time where we're kind of going back to that cauldron and we're manifesting a new recipe, paving a new road is what I'm seeing with this new moon. So we're really taking back our power, and we're really focusing on the self, and we're doing it in a very healing, healthy way. I love this opening message, you guys. It's beautiful. So why don't we go ahead and take a look and see if there's any kind of, shadows or fears or blockages that maybe still might creep up here and there that we might have to contest with. Let's take a look here. So we're going to shift decks, and we're going to go into, this deck here, which is called the Divination of the Ancients, and we're going to combine it with the Tarot of the Vampires, or the Tarot of Vampires is what it's called. Okay, what are some energies that might kind of still be lingering around, shadow energies, that sort of thing? I need to change the music anytime this like chime thing comes on, whatever the hell this is, singing bowls. I don't know why, it just drives me crazy. I can't handle it. There we go. It's a really beautiful sound, but when I'm doing readings, I don't know why, it just really, really takes me off focus. Okay. Sorry, guys. Speaking of blockages. Okay, so what is an energy here during this new moon that might just still kind of pop up here and there that we may need to just address? Let's take a look here. What's a theme? Okay, so we have dreams, incubation. So when I see this particular card, this is talking about things that are still in the incubation stage. These are dreams that have not been realized yet, things that we have not brought to fruition, things that we have not brought into the physical world. Well, the thing is, the opening message was all about we're working on something. We're working on something, and so this incubation is saying here that now it's time to take things to the next step. Okay, it's time to put something out there. It's time to get recognized. You've done the work. Now it's time to basically move forward with victory and success. So there's a lot of people that are talented in the world, but the thing is that if you are just sitting at home with all your talent, yet you're not sharing it, or you do not have the motivation, the drive, or perhaps let's just say the confidence to share it, but yet you're dreaming of being recognized, a lot of things are not going to happen, okay? So it's kind of like that's the energy that I'm getting, is that you've sat with something for a while, you've sat with an idea, you've sat with a dream for a while, and it's in this energy here where maybe it's still taking some time to bear fruit and come to fruition. So let's see what this has to do with. Let's get some clarification on this, because I could just go all day on that message. Okay, the Tower. Something has to shift. Something has to change. So, of course, we're speaking of partnerships in this reading, okay? Very much actually started off with an energy that was very focused on ourselves. And so that might be where the healing is at right now, rather than perhaps trying to partner up, or rather than trying to push to make a relationship work. It might be time for us to just maybe pull back and take that time to heal and let other people do the same. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like something that is still not bearing fruit, something that still is growing, not quite ready yet. The Tower is an energy here that something needs to shift and change severely. Sometimes we can get caught up in a dream world. Sometimes we can get caught up in the fantasy of something. And I feel like this is Spirit's way of saying that we've got to kind of get out of that dream world and start being like putting ourselves out there amongst the living, you know, in doing things in life again, putting ourselves out there. Just, you know, so if some of you guys have been withdrawn, if some of you guys have just been kind of dreaming about something, but kind of in that dream world, somewhat stuck there, it is time to shift into a reality, okay? It doesn't mean that what you're connected to isn't real. It doesn't mean that it is, you know, necessarily a negative, but of course we are looking at things that are just still kind of holding us back and that are shadows. But it might just be that right now, while a dream is still in its incubation stage, it is time for you to make a shift and start to actually move forward with your life. That's just what I'm seeing here. All right, let's go ahead and get some other messages. The Tower can represent the sign of Aries, so just so you guys know. Yeah, it definitely has to do with a relationship, definitely. Two of Cups. It's kind of like a wake-up call. It might be that we're still holding on to something that, again, isn't quite moving forward, and something needs to shift and change. And sometimes if we can't shift and change the connection, we can only really change ourselves. We can't make someone else want to work something through. We can't make someone else want something that we want or that we're ready for if they're not. The only thing that we can do is just change our own circumstances and change the way that we are what's the word I'm looking for? The way that we're either relating, I guess, to the connection. So if we're in this dream world and we're just kind of in this wishful state of thinking, praying and hoping that perhaps something will heal, something will change, I kind of feel like that Tower is telling you it's time for you to take matters into your own hands and start to basically make changes in your own life. So I feel like it is connected to the opening message, which is it really is a smart time to invest in yourself, okay? Because after you do this, it shifts the energy and it brings it perhaps from the incubation stage into reality, Two of Cups energy. So it's kind of like what you're waiting on, what you're dreaming about. It's kind of like we can only be in that state for so long. At some point, we got to start taking action steps. We got to start participating. We got to start putting one foot in front of the other and making things happen in our lives. And sometimes when we're not super focused on a specific thing, it kind of is like a miracle how it just seems to start, you know, coming to life when we're no longer focused on it. So focus on the self rather than relationships is what I'm seeing, and that's going to help for all to heal. We have the 10 of Cups. This is absolutely gorgeous energy. That is what's going to bring you happiness and joy. Whatever this Tower, this shakeup is here, whatever has been, you know, either just in the incubation stage for so long, there's going to be some sort of a shift. But again, I feel like the answer is focus on the self, empower the self, work on you, and everything just magically comes together. That's what I'm seeing. When you're no longer focused on it, the energy severely shifts and shifts from fantasy to reality. And then all of a sudden this is showing up in your physical world. That's what I am seeing with this. So beautiful. Beautiful energy. We can't just sit around dreaming about something. We got to start getting active in our lives. We got to start doing other things rather than focusing just on that. That is the message. Okay, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at any kind of past energies as far as lessons and karma that are, you know, either blessing us perhaps or still maybe lingering around. So it's kind of similar to what we just went through, but we're taking it a step further when it comes to like karma and big lessons. This right here is the Beautiful Creatures Tarot. So we're going to put that there. And we're going to combine this with the Oracle of Shadows and Light. So the artwork on both of these decks is from Jasmine Beckett Griffith, Tongue Twister. Okay, what is the theme here for the past lessons, karma, things that we are releasing during this period of time, trying to phase out and let go? Okay, so you guys, this is interesting the way it's popping up. Again, when we hold too tightly onto something, it's like it stays here. It doesn't pop into reality. So that's why we have the Tower, major shift of energy, shifting our focus elsewhere. When we're no longer holding on too tight, focusing on how lonely we are, or how we miss maybe this particular person. When we're not focused on putting all of our eggs into this person's basket for our happiness, and we're just really focusing on our own lives, our own cauldron, making our own recipe for our own Ten of Cups happiness. That's when things seem to shift in our lives when it comes to partnerships. So either you're taking your focus off a particular person and it's literally creating such a huge shift to where maybe something entirely different comes into your life. But the thing is, when we hold on too tight to a fixed idea, sometimes it's like we're strangling the hell out of energy and we can't let any new energy flow into our lives. So Spirit's saying, let go a little bit to whatever this is, perhaps anything that you're hanging on to from the past. Now, this could just be hurt from previous partners. It doesn't have to even be a particular person, but this is just about any kind of energy where we're holding on too tight. We need to learn to let this go. And the more that we let go, the more that we can have an energetic shift and start to experience new things. This is beautiful. So it's like this new moon in Libra wants to work with you. So it's about letting go a little bit and letting some of that influence or influential energy come into your life and bless you. High Priestess. I'm getting here with this High Priestess is that you know that this is something that you need to do, okay? You know. This is also about a highly intuitive person, somebody who's very psychically connected. You might know you might know what's going to happen, or you might have this feeling. It could even be too that you trusted your intuition and you felt like you were somehow let down. Somebody let you down. And so now you might be having a difficult time trusting your intuition, but I'm getting don't. It might have just been that you were holding on too tightly to a fixed idea. So it wasn't necessarily your intuition. It was more or less your ego. So I feel like you're kind of learning to navigate your intuition moving forward a little bit differently. So it's kind of like a lesson learned, but you're still a very highly intuitive person. So don't knock yourself for this. We all, as spiritual people, have a tendency to, kind of step into our ego and operate out of there. Happens all the time. No one's perfect. The High Priestess can sometimes represent the sign of Pisces. It's also ruled by the moon. So we have Cancer coming up for a second time in this reading. So that could be significant to some of you out there. What else? We have the Ten of Pentacles. So when I see the Ten of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups in the same reading, there could definitely be an energy of commitment and marriage and families. Okay, so there could be some family issues here. There could be people that are dealing with a lot of traditions, a lot of traditional belief systems. They're holding on way too tight to what their family wants for them. You could be dealing with somebody who has another partnership going on and they feel like they can't leave that partnership for specific reasons. Maybe there's children involved, things like that. So there could be third-party situations going on here, but it doesn't have to resonate for everybody. But I definitely get that you're in that mode of really wanting that Ten of Cups and really wanting that Ten of Pentacles. And it does seem like something is standing in your way. And it could be that you're holding on too tightly to a fixed idea that this is the only way to happiness. Finding a partner, getting married, having children is your only way to happiness. And I'm not here to say that that is maybe not the case, because that could definitely be somebody's feeling that that is what is going to make them happy, that that is their life's purpose, to have children and to have a family. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But the energy is just stating here that sometimes there's just certain things that we have to learn, and sometimes we have to learn the hard way through karmic lessons and karmic relationships to kind of figure out and make way and like kind of pave the way for what is right for us. We have to be willing to let go of old energy that just didn't work out. Certain relationships, certain things that we thought for sure that it was going to work out. This could even be affecting you currently. You're so fixated on a particular person that this is this person for you, that you and them will be together. And it's not to say that it can't happen, but we've got to kind of pull away from the ego side of it. and take away some of that energy that's kind of strangling it, is what I'm getting here. It's not allowing the universe to basically shift and bring in that fresh energy that it needs to replenish perhaps this connection or the people involved, or to allow certain healing that needs to take place. So we kind of need to let go a little bit to our fixed ideas about what our ultimate happiness looks like, okay? Because we may be even currently dealing with karmic people or karmic cycles. So if you're dealing with somebody where you're just literally meant to learn a lesson, not necessarily end up with them, we have to kind of get to a point where we're okay with something not lasting forever, because there's something valuable for us to learn, but maybe our ultimate happiness isn't with a particular person. That's just for some of you out there. I don't want to scare anybody. Yeah, see, death. So Spirit's just basically agreeing here with what's being brought forth as far as the messages. Death. The only way that things can transition, the only way that things can change, the only way that we can transmute energy, shift it, is by letting go. We have to allow this transformation to take place. So the thing is, it could very well be that you and a person are going to end up perhaps, let's just say 6 months down the line together. But right now, the focus on it, the energy that might be going on in it right now, people may need to take a step back and take care of themselves for a little bit of time before this particular outcome can come about. Okay. I think in one of my last readings, I don't remember what it was, I got 10-10. I'm getting 10-10 again. 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. So the 10th month could be significant. It can. Scorpio's energy comes through the Death card. That is the energy of October. So there's something significant about October, you guys. Okay, so there could be just a huge shift in a karmic lesson, a huge transformation, a huge transition in energy, which could be what that Tower card was all about. Interesting. Okay. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the people that are around us and what Spirit has in regards to advice about that. So other people in our lives, people in our environment, how people are affecting us, how we are just kind of being affected by that. Wow, I love this. We have ancestors. Okay, so the veil around Halloween or Samhain, you know, whatever you guys celebrate. This is definitely an energy here. That's when the veil is the thinnest. So the fact that we have ancestors coming up, and I was just talking about the 10th month and Halloween, you know, your environment, you've got a lot of people that are around you here from the spirit world is what I'm seeing, that's here to basically give you some sort of energy, some sort of message, some sort of guidance at this time. So things just took a real spiritual shift here. So let's go ahead and get some specific messages on this. Oh, wow. We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is about tradition. We did get the 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles and the Hierophant is very similar to me, but it's also very spiritual. This is an energy here of spirituality. Ancient traditions, the fact that we have ancestors coming through with that. There's a belief system here. There's an ancient religion or tradition or something like that that you are going to be exposed to during this period of time. So that this may be very helpful to you. It's about connecting with your ancestors in a very traditional way, giving, paying, some sort of respect or honoring them during this time. We have the Two of Pentacles. Okay, so the Two of Pentacles is kind of like wearing two different hats, okay? You know, being here and being there. You know, it's a very busy time. It's very back and forth energy. So you might be kind of split, or you might be feeling a little stressed because you got a lot of different things going on at one time. You might feel pulled in a lot of different directions, okay? So it's nothing to be alarmed about, but it is something to be aware of, that it might possibly be, you know, to really tap into like the earth, kind of get rooted in, get grounded, do some meditation, you know, really ground yourself during maybe a really up and down time, a really busy time right now, especially if you're having a lot of people that are coming at you for different reasons. And people might be coming at you because you're running a business, and so it could be that you're dealing with a lot of people. We have the King of Pentacles. So I feel like there's definitely an energy here that does have something to do with running a business or business. So the business world or your environment, your work environment, your career, I really do feel that this is probably going to be for people that are in the spiritual a spiritual, career. So you're doing something where you're dealing with a lot of people, and you're dealing with perhaps, just past people, past energy, your ancestors, your spirit guides, things like that, just spirituality. And I feel like you're going to be making some shifts. It might just be kind of like you feel a little just kind of all over the place, but I do really like that we have a lot of grounded energy. I'm getting Taurus specifically. Taurus is an earth sign, so we do have Pentacles and King of Pentacles. So Taurus is coming through very, very loud and clear for me. But of course, all earth signs with King of Pentacles can be significant, which would be Virgo and Capricorn as well. But I feel like this is about roots, getting grounded and getting back to our roots, really practicing a craft, really getting plugged into a tradition, really taking that time to honor. And that's what's going to help to keep you grounded during this period of time. It's also going to help you when it comes to your career or your life's purpose. So it's about getting in touch with your ancestors and your guides, or even your family members that are still living, okay, here on the planet. It might be about family time. The King of Pentacles can sometimes be a husband. It can be a father figure. So this is definitely an energy here where we are, really spending time with family. And I just feel like it's a very good time, but there could be that kind of being spread thin and being pulled between working too hard and taking care of yourself. Working too hard, but then trying to be there for everybody at the same time. So just really make sure that you stay grounded during this kind of up and down energy. All right, so that's the message. So what does Spirit want you to focus on? What does Spirit want you to focus on? I'm kind of doing my mini Celtic cross reading here. What does Spirit really want you to focus on this new moon? Change. Look at that. Change. So obviously the Death card came through, and that has to do with change, transformation. The Tower came through, that indicates change. So they really want you to focus on things that need to change, things that are new. New moon is new energy. So this is definitely a time to really let old energy kind of go. Don't hang on to the past so tightly. Really let things kind of just smooth out in these relationships. It might not be a time to really address major issues with a person. Let things balance out, like Libra's energy. Very balanced energy, very balanced time. Okay, so the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is about putting some sort of like a goal. Sorry, I couldn't think. A goal. The law of attraction. You put a thought out there. You put your intention. You put those seeds of intention out, and this is about something that is basically coming back after a period of time. So it is about making the conscious shift to change your perspective, or change maybe what you're thinking or the way that you're thinking, so that way your ships can come back in. So to me, this is kind of like something is on the horizon, but it hasn't quite reached you just yet. So Spirit is telling you here, do focus on the here and now, which is change, but do look towards the future. Don't look behind you. That's what I'm seeing here. Don't look behind you. We have the Three of Swords here. So the fact that we have 2 threes tells me here that this definitely has to do perhaps with other people. I see threes as community. I see threes sometimes as third party, meaning that there's a lover's triangle. It could be for some of you. But rather than looking at this pain and focusing on this pain, focusing on what isn't working in front of you, Spirit is telling you to change your perspective and look out into the horizon. Yes, you do need to be in the present moment, but this is about not focusing on something that's negative. So if that's what you do have in front of you, it might be good to take your chin, push it up, and basically look off into the horizon in the distance, because there's something that's in front of you perhaps that just is not making you happy, and so that needs to change. Whoa, the Ten of Swords. The 10, another 10, you guys, 10, 10, 10 came up in this reading. So this is an energy where something is basically just, it's done. Now, it doesn't mean forever, but whatever needs to basically end, now it's time to change. Meaning, like, we got to pull ourselves up off the ground. The 10 of Swords traditionally shows somebody who is on the ground with 10 swords in their back. They cannot move. They're literally almost dead. Maybe they are dead. They feel dead. They don't want to get up. The pain is it's too powerful. It's too painful. So the thing is, what Spirit's saying is that we have to get up. We can't lay on the floor any longer. We can't curl up in a ball in bed and stay there for, the days on end. We can't, we can do that, but we shouldn't do that, because there's so many beautiful things that are on the horizon for you. And that's what Spirit wants you to focus on. They want you to focus on the new. They want you to focus on things that are positively changing, not this old energy. This old energy, it's like you've come to the end of the road with it. You've honored it. You've wallowed in it. Maybe you've paid the price, or maybe you did something, you made a mistake, and you're raking yourself over the coals. It's time to be done with that. This cycle needs to end. So let's go into this new moon's energy, and let's really get rid of old and move forward towards the new. Let's make these positive changes and look off into the horizon, because there is something beautiful on the horizon. What's ever happened to you, it's happened to you for a reason. But you're meant to pick yourself up off the ground, dust yourself off, and move forward. You're not meant to sit around and basically wallow and lay there and die. Okay? So that was kind of harsh, but that is what we're getting. So let's see what Spirit is bringing forth as far as messages for our future. What is possibly off in the distance? What is this change that's off in the distance? This 3 of Wands energy. Let's see what we got. What is this 3 of Wands energy here off in the distance? Interesting. We have we have clearing, space clearing. The space is clear for something new. So this tells me, you guys, that you have definitely done some sort of work during this new moon, or things that, like with this new moon, it puts you in that energy to where you are finally focusing on the new. You're clearing way for something new. Okay? Something new can now come in. Something new can come in now because you've made space for it. You've picked yourself up off the ground. You've made space for something new. This is beautiful. Okay, well, this is going to be a really beautiful message for some of you guys that are waiting for someone to return to your life. Okay? The 3 of Wands is like we're waiting for something to come back. What we put out, we're waiting for it to come back. Now, what I did see in this reading, I saw 2 different energies. One of the energies that I saw is that it might be that someone is really focused on a particular outcome. When we let go and we allow it to breathe, it comes back. Meaning that it can breathe, it can transform, it can change, it can shift. People suddenly have epiphanies, they have healing, they have clearing. The space is cleared now. Things return. 6 of Cups. A lover coming back from the past, maybe even a friend. There's a reconciliation here. Now, for some of you, this energy, again, reminds you, by focusing on this ending or focusing on this pain isn't going to bring this person back. When you clear your energy and heal, that might particularly be what happens. It's a surprise and change in circumstances. Okay? But, these readings won't resonate for every person out there. But I feel like that is what Spirit is leaving you with, is letting you know that there might be somebody that comes back from the past when you least expect it, and it's because you've cleared your energy. And when we do this, things shift and change magically, as if by magic. Magical space clearing time. You are clearing space so that the universe can work its freaking magic. We have the 8 of Swords, and this is beautiful because this is the thing. You're removing yourself from any kind of thoughts that have been restricting you, any kind of imprisonment that you've been in. You realize it's been an imprisonment of your own thoughts, your own doing. You realize that no one is imprisoning you. You realize that it is all about your choice in life. the way that you're going to think about a certain situation, the way that you're going to respond to a certain situation. It's all your choice on how you're going to feel about something. It's, people are acting certain ways that trigger us, yes. People piss us off, yes. But it's up to us on how we are going to allow it to basically imprison us and control our minds and control what we're doing or not doing in life. So I'm seeing here that because you have taken the time to clear this very stuck energy, this very fixated energy where you're holding on too tightly, now all of a sudden something is blossoming. Something is blossoming. Yeah, something is working now. So we go from the 8 to the 8 of Pentacles. You see this? So whatever isn't working is now freaking working. So because you're practicing, because you're working on yourself, something is actually bearing some sort of fruit. 8s to me, you guys, are infinity symbols. Something came back around. That's how I'm seeing this reading here at the very end. Something returns from the past or someone, and then we have this loop. Something comes back around, It's like some kind of karma, good karma. Some kind of person comes back to clear up energy and space, maybe unfinished business, deliver that apology, release us, we release them. Maybe we come back together. Maybe we live happily ever after with that 10 of Cups and 10 of Pentacles energy. You just never know. But all I know is that the main focus in this reading needs to be on healing and letting go and focusing on yourself. Wow, that basically is pretty much every single reading that I always do. So it always leads back to the same answer every time. So anyways, you guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it empowered you and inspired you to do some clearing and healing during this new moon in Libra. So have a fantastic weekend, you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.